Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 106. A, top of the page, with the words Machlif, Vishar Shav Merubin. It was the middle of a story, so maybe it's good to start on the bottom of 105b. It wasn't a story, it was actually some kind of explanation of a verse. Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachmani says, or Yonatan says, what is the meaning of that which is written? Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are importunate. Are not good, let's put it that way. I'm not sure what importunate means, but Proverbs 27 verse 6, better is the curse that Ahijah the Shilonite cursed the Jewish people than the blessing that Bilam the wicked blessed them. Ahijah the Shilonite cursed Israel with a reed, as it is stated, for the Lord shall smite Israel as a reed is shaken in water. It's 1 Kings 14:15. There is an aspect of blessing in that curse, as he was saying, that they will be just like a reed that stands in a place near water, as the water sustains it and its stalk. And now we're on 106a, top of the page, Machalif. Vishar Shav Merubin replenishes itself as if it is cut, another grows. If it is cut, another grows, and its roots are numerous. And if all the winds that are in the world come and gust against it, they do not move it from its place and uproot it. Rather, it goes and comes with the winds. And once the winds subside, the reed remains in its place. But Bilam the wicked blessed them with a cedar. ולא יורד, אלא שזכה כאן ליטול ממנו קולמוס לכתוב ממנו ספרי תורה, נביאים וכתובים. Bilam the wicked blessed them with a cedar. There's an aspect of curse in that blessing, as he was saying that they will be just like a cedar that does not stand in a place near water, and its roots are few relative to its height, and its trunk does not replenish itself. As if it is cut, it does not grow back. And even if all the winds that are in the world come and gust against it, they do not move it from its place and uproot it. But once a southern wind gusts, it immediately uproots the cedar and overturns it on its face. Moreover, it is the reed that was privileged to have a quill taken from it to write scrolls of the Torah, prophets, and writings. Therefore, the curse of Ahijah is better than the blessing of Bilam. וירס הקני וישם שלוי אמר לו בלעם לישראל קני לא היית עמנו באותה עצה מי הושיבך אצל איתני העולם. It is stated with regard to Bilam, and he looked at the Kenite, and he took up his parable and said, though firm is your dwelling place, and though your nest be set in a rock. Numbers 24:21. Bilam said to Yitro, Kenite, were you not in Egypt with us in that council to drown the newborn males of Israel? Who placed you alongside the mighty of the world? V'hainu de'amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba, amar Rabbi Simai, shlosha hayu bo'oto etza Elohem, Bil'am, Iyov, v'Yitro. Bilam, שהעץ נהרג, איוב ששתק, נידון בייסורים, ויתרו שברח זכו, בני בניו וישב לשכת הגזית, שנאמר, משפחות סופרים יושבי ארץ, טירתים, שמעתים, סוחרתים, הם מכים הם הבאים מחמס, אבי בית Rechav. Uketiv ubnei Akeni. Choten Moshe alo meir hatimaim. The Gemara comments, and that is what Rabbi Chia bar Abba says, that Rabbi Simai says, 3 were associates in that council, and they are Bilam, Job, and Yitro. Bilam, who advised to drown the newborn babies, was killed. Job, who was silent and reluctant to express his opinion, was sentenced to suffer afflictions. And Yitro, who fled after he disagreed with that council, and Pharaoh sought to kill him, his descendants were privileged to sit as scribes in session with the Sanhedrin in the chamber hewn stone, as it is stated, and the families of the scribes who dwelt in Jabez, the Tirathites, the Sheminathites, the Sukathites, these were the Kenites who came of Hamath, the father of the house of Rechab. 1 Chronicles 2:55, and it is written there with regard to the identity of the Kenites, and the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up from the city of the palm trees. Judges 1:16. ויסו משלום אלוהים יחיה מסומוי ושמלקי שוני שמחיה מעצבי שמל אמרו יוחנן אוי לה לאומה שתימצא בשעה שהקדוש ברוך הוא עושה פדיון לבניו מי מטיל כסותו בין לוי ללוויה בשעה שנזקקים זה עם זה. With regard to the verse, and he took up his parable and said, Alas, he who lives from what God has appointed him, Numbers 24:23. Rabbi Shimon ben Lachish says, Woe unto the one who sustains himself in an indolent manner in the name of God, meaning Bilam, whose livelihood was from speaking in the name of God. Indulgent manner. Rabbi Yochanan says, Woe unto the nation that will be found hindering the Jewish people at the time when the Holy One, blessed be He, redeems His children. Who places his garment between a male lion and a female lion when they are mating? One who does so will certainly die. V'tzim miad kitim amarav libon aspir inu ashur inu ever ad shiasir kad lemiktal mikan be'elech mishabdi sheubadi. With regard to the verse, and ships come from the coast of Kittim, Numbers 24:24, Rav says, this is the Roman legion that will attack Assyria, and they shall afflict Assyria, and they shall afflict Aver. Numbers 24:24. Before they reach Assyria, they will kill the Jewish people. From that point forward, they will enslave them and not kill them. Hineni hoylech le'ami lecha yatzcha asher yatzeha hamazeh le'amecha amcha ramazeh mivoyle amar b'chia bar kahana ke'adam shemekalel et atzmo v'toleh kilato b'acherim. Bilam said to Balak, Behold, I go to my people. Come therefore, and I shall advise you what this people shall do to your people. Numbers 24:14. Ostensibly, he should have said, what your people shall do to this people. Rabbi Abba bar Kahana says, Bilam spoke like a person who curses himself, but does not wish to utter so awful a matter, and instead ascribes his curse to take effect on others. Amar lahem Elohim sheleinu somizimahu והם המתאבים לכלי פשטן בו ועשייה עצה עשה להם קלעים וישב בהם זוינויס זקנה מבחוץ וילדה מבפנים וימכרו להם כלי פשטן. Bilam said to them, the God of these Jewish people despises lewdness, and they desire linen garments. As they have no new garments, come, and I will give you advice. Make for them enclosures using wall hangings, and seat prostitutes in them, with an old woman outside the enclosure and a young woman inside, and have the women sell them linen garments. Also lehem klaim maher sheleg ad beit shishimois mehar sheleg ad beit shishimois v'hashir ben zoinois zakena mibachutz v'yalda mibfnim u'isha'a shebiyisrot oichem v'shois v'smechim v'yois nitam b'shuk oimeres lo zakena tam mfakesh kli pishtan zakena omeres lo b'shaveh Balak made for them enclosures using wall hangings from the snow mountain, the Hermon, until Beit HaYeshimot, and he set prostitutes in them, with an old woman outside and a young woman on the inside. And at the time when the Jewish people were eating and drinking and were glad, and going out to stroll in the marketplace, the old woman would say to a Jew, "Aren't you seeking linen garments?" He would enter the enclosure and ask the price. The old woman would quote him a price equal to its value, and the young woman would quote him a price less than its value. That scenario repeated itself 2 or 3 times. ואחר כך אומרת לו, הרי את כבן בית, שב ברו לעצמך, וצר צורי של יין המוני מונח אצלה, ודי לא נאסר יין של המוני ולא יין של גויים, אמרו לה רצון שתשתה כוס של יין, כיוון ששתה בערבו. And afterwards she would say to him, "You are like a member of our household, sit and choose for yourself the merchandise you want." And a jug of Ammonite wine was placed near her, and neither Ammonite wine nor Gentile wine had been prohibited yet for Jews. She said to him, "Is it your wish to drink a cup of wine?" Once he drank the wine, his evil inclination burned within him. Amar la hashmi'eni li hotzi'i irata mitocheka. Amar la avod lze. Amar la halo Yehudi ani. Amar la v'ma ichpat lach klum mivakshim mimcha el pi'ur v'ein yodea שבעבודתה כך ולא עוד אלא שאיני מינתך עד שתכפור בתורת משה רבך שנאמר המה באו בעל פאור וינזו לבושת ויהיו שקוצים כאהבם. Then he said to her, "Submit to me and engage in intercourse with me." She then removed the idol that she worshipped from her lap and said to him, "Worship this." He said to her, "Am I not Jewish? I am therefore forbidden from engaging in idol worship." She said to him, "And what is your concern? We are asking you to do nothing more than defecate in its presence." But he does not know that its worship is conducted in that manner. Once he did so, she said to him, "Moreover, I will not leave you until you deny the Torah of Moses your teacher," as it is stated. But when they came to Baal Peor, they separated themselves to the shameful item, and they became detestable like that which they loved. Hosea 9:10. They devoted themselves to the disgrace of defecation and detested the name of God. וישו ישראל בשיטים, רבי אליעזר אומר, שיטים שמה. רבי יהושע אומר, שנעסקו בדברי שטוס. With regard to the verse in Israel dwelt in Shittim, Numbers 25:1, Rabbi Eliezer says Shittim is the name of the place. Rabbi Yehoshua says it is an allusion to the fact that they were engaged in matters of nonsense, meaning prostitution and idol worship. ותקראנה לעם זכרי אלוהיהן. רבי אליעזר אומר, ערומוס פגעו בהן. רבי יהושע אומר, שנעשו כולן בעלי כהן. With regard to the verse, and they called the people to the offerings of their gods, Numbers 25:2, Rabbi Eliezer says, naked women encountered them. Rabbi Yehoshua says they all became those experienced in a seminal mission, resulting from the lust that they experienced. My lashon rafidim. Rabbi Eliezer Omer rafidim shma. Rabbi Yeshua Omer שיריפו עצמן בדברי תורה, שנאמר, Apropos the homiletic interpretation of the names of places, the Gemara asks, what is the connotation of the term Refidim? See Exodus 19, verse 2. Rabbi Eliezer says Refidim is the name of the place. Rabbi Yehoshua says it is an allusion to the fact that they enfeebled themselves with regard to engaging in matters of Torah. As it is stated, the fathers do not look back to their children from feebleness of hands. Jeremiah 47, verse 3. There too, the connotation of the name is dereliction in the study of Torah. אמר רבי יוחנן, בכל מקום שנאמר וישב אינו אלא על לשון צייר, שנאמר וישב ישראל לשיטים, ויאכל נוי זה ונוי סמוי. וישב יעקב בארץ בגוי אביו, בארץ כנען. ויבא יוסף את דיבו סברו, אל אביהם, ולאמר, וישב ישראל בארץ גוישם, יקחו ימי ישראל למוס, וישב יהודה ישראל לבית אחי נשתח אז גפנוי וזרפתי נשוי. ויקם השם סתן לשלמוי, as Hadad Adomi Mizera Melechu Be'edom. Rabbi Yochanan says everywhere that it is stated, and he dwelt, is nothing other than an expression of pain, of an impending calamity, as it is stated. And Israel dwelt in Shittim, and the people began to commit harlotry with the daughters of Moab. Numbers 25:1. It is stated, and Jacob dwelt in the land where his father had sojourned in the land of Canaan. Genesis 37:1. And it is stated thereafter, and Joseph brought evil, reported them to his father, Genesis 37:2, which led to the sale of Joseph. And it is stated, and Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, the land of Goshen, Genesis 47:27. And it is stated thereafter, and the time drew near that Israel was to die, Genesis 47:29. It is stated, and Judah and Israel dwelt safely, every man under his vine and under his victory. 1 Kings 5:5. And it is stated thereafter, and the Lord raised up an adversary to Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. 1 Kings 11:14. ויסמך המדיין הלו על חלליהם וביימם, ויסביר מבואר הלו בחלהם. בלמי פוי חסם, אמר יוחנן שהלך ניצול שחלס 24,000. שהפיר בישראל. אמר זאת רבר טוביה, אמר רב היינו דאמרין שיפ, גם נאז לביבי קרני, ודני, דאבולה, גזיזן מיני. With regard to Bilam, it is stated, and they slew the kings of Midian with the rest of their slain, and Bilam, son of Beor, they slew with the sword. Numbers 31:8. The Gemara asks Bilam, what did he seek there? What was his role in that war? He lived in Aram. Rabbi Yochanan says he went to collect payment for 24,000 members of the Jewish people, whom he felled with his advice. Marzutra Bartovia says that Rav says that this is in accordance with the adage that people say a camel goes to seek horns, and the ears that it had are severed from it. Not only was Bilam unsuccessful in collecting his fee, he also lost his life. Yes, Bilam ben Ba'ora HaKosim, Kosim, Naviu, Amar Yochanan, Betchila Naviu, Oso Kosim, Amar Papa, Handamrinchi, Mizgane, Veshirti, Hale, Azyan, Nagavre, Nagari. It is stated, and Bilam, son of Ba'ora the diviner, did the children of Israel slay with the sword among the rest of their slain. Joshua 13:22. The Gemara asks, was he a diviner? He's a prophet. Rabbi Yochanan says initially he was a prophet, but ultimately he lost his capacity for prophecy and remained merely a diviner. Rav Papa says that this is in accordance with the adage that people say, this woman was descended from princes and rulers and was licentious with carpenters.